Hi, my name's David Philipp and I'm the studio head at Formosa Interactive. In addition to that, I'm also one of the founding members of Boom Library. The idea behind the library was to build on the success of the original Close Combat. We thought fighting sounds you can never have enough in your library. So recording-wise for this library, we built on all our experiences that we've made over the last years. For this particular one of the things we do a lot is using contact mics. So we built like resonating chambers. We used cardboard boxes. We even used a wooden cupboard to record our sounds with. What that looks like is, for example, we had a punching bag resting on a cardboard box. The cardboard box was mic'd up with contact mics and a resonator mic. And we would basically trigger the punching bag, but also have the body of the cardboard box resonating with that, which gives us a lot more impact, a lot more bass response, and ultimately a much more powerful sound. So making a library like this is actually hard work because you are fighting in the recording room. You're punching stuff, you're ripping cloth, you're trying to create the most powerful whooshes possible. So it is a bit of it's definitely a library where you have to put your body into it, and you can also hear that in the recordings. It was definitely a physical library and we didn't have any actors to fall back on. We performed it all ourselves in typical Boom fashion. Every recordist on this library had to get their hands dirty to produce the fighting sounds. I think people don't think about how they have to shield the microphones to not get juices of all sorts over them. And that requires some trial and error for sure. Also, wind is usually a problem, especially when you do powerful whooshes. The microphones need to be in a windshield, which is typically not the case when you're recording indoors in a studio environment. So all these learnings just, they add up, and in the end, it's definitely a library that you can draw a lot of experiences from. It took us 3 weeks to get the right sound of the punching this time round, especially with the right blend of contact mic versus our usual MS set. It took us 2 weeks of trial and error with the GORE aspect of the library, and even more of cleaning up time. I think this library is incredibly important for every sound designer out there, for every sound editor. You can simply never have enough fighting sounds in your library. Again, the versatility that these sounds bring is second to none. You can use them on, obviously, punches and kicks. You can use them in fighting scenes, but you can also use them as sweeteners in other material like gunshots, like creature sounds, footsteps. They're super versatile, and I think they should not miss in any sound designer's library. So one of my favorite sounds in this library is actually a prop called Monkey Nuts, which we used in a leather cloth. And the leather cloth dampens it enough to make it gory without being too gory. And it's just a great addition to any face punching sound that you can imagine. It provides the right amount of bone crack without sounding like a prop. I think some recordings definitely make me smile because I can see myself performing them, and that's always funny because if you manhandling a piece of fruit and see yourself in a reflection in the studio window, then it always is a bit of a comedy factor as well. If you already own Close Combat and you're thinking about buying Violent Combat, it's definitely a continuation of the library. We made a great effort at splitting them into different styles this time. So for example, you have a martial arts section in there, which really draws attention to that sort of kung fu style. That's actually one of my favorites. You have over-the-top sounds in there, which are, the typical Boom format, right in your face. You have real sounds in there, grounded if you want to call them that have much more of a real-life feel to them. And then you have also got the gory aspect, which really is gruesome, gory, facial destruction. If you buy this library, you can actually use all the sounds without having to clean up the mess afterwards.